All right, everyone. So earlier today, I went over the Whirlwind Barb nerf where they disabled the gauntlet or the bracers on that build, which was kind of interesting in that they just put it on hold for the time being until they figure out what to do with it. But now we have the first official patch notes for the live game. So let's see what we got going on. They're going to do some balance adjustments to some classes and some various different things are going to be going on. But you can see here, this is sort of the update categories. So you see, while we want players to both feel truly powerful, some class builds and synergies are outside our bounds. Now, obviously, they're talking about Whirlwind Barb, right? And the other thing that they mentioned is players can survive unreasonably high amounts of damage for long periods of time. So this is pretty important for hardcore players specifically, because you might be used to some sort of damage threshold that you could survive previously, but now you cannot. So that is super important. And also, Paragon glyphs are currently providing too much power. So that's huge. Looks like we have massive changes to go over. I mean, look at all these changes, okay? So, well, let's dive into it. First off, we have the Barbarian changes. Challenging Shout, the skill damage reduction is going to be reduced from 4 to 2%, which is actually a big nerf on the overall damage reduction. But it's not like end of the world, I'd say. You're still going to get a ton of damage reduction out of the skill. I think it doesn't really change the overall impact of the skill. Legendary aspect, the bold chieftains aspect. So cooldown reduction per nearby enemy reduced from 2.7 to 5.4 to 1.0 to 1.9, and the maximum cooldown reduction from 12 to 6 seconds. Oh my goodness. So if I just look this up here so you guys can see exactly what this does, so you guys can see it. This is the bold chieftains aspect. Whenever you cast a shout skill, it's going to get reduced based on the amount of enemies nearby, which is massive to reduce it to 6 seconds. Wow, that drastically changes the Whirlwind shout spam build. Also, aspect of the dire Whirlwind, the increased crit strike chance per second reduced from 5 to 10 to 3 to 8%. So you're looking at 16% crit strike down at the maximum potential chance. And this isn't even considering the fact that, you could apply it on a two-handed weapon and get even more crit strike. Okay, so pretty massive nerf, and something that is going to be really impactful for the Whirlwind build. I thought they were going to be kind of done nerfing it, but they nerfed it super hard, honestly. I'm not quite sure how this is going to affect it. I think it's still going to be good. I think the build was so good already that this is still going to be good, but, well, that's going to be a big change. So I don't know if we're going to see that consistent, clear, and just spamming of shouts, which obviously helped out the damage reduction. The challenging shout damage reduction now got nerfed two ways: the cooldown and the damage reduction skill. Wow. Okay, so pretty big there. We also have the Druid skill changes. Lucky hit chance on pulverize reduced. I don't think that matters a crazy amount. Lightning storm is increased. Grizzly rage damage bonus is increased as well. So I think overall it's a pretty massive Druid buff, especially with the Grizzly rage damage bonus. And then we have the class specialization. Oh my goodness. The Obsidian Slam kills required for bonus increase from 10 to 20. Now, for those of you who don't know, this is the ability to kind of trigger that extra overpower hit off of a certain amount of kills, which allows you to kind of double smack, right? You smack with an overpower, kill a bunch of units, smack another one. This is a big nerf, actually. I think overall that's a huge nerf for Pulverized Druid. We also got the lucky hit chance reduction on Calm Before the Storm. Electric shock damage bonus increased. Legendary aspect changes. The damage reduced from Shockwave, massively reduced. Wow. And the critical strike damage reduced. Oh my goodness, they're just destroying the Druid as well. And I don't even think that the Druid is like massively overperforming yet. I feel like they're just pre-nerfing before we've really gotten to experience the Druid. But I guess that's how it goes down. The Necromancer, I hope they're buffing the Necromancer. Looks like damage increased. Blood Lance, the cooldown and damage is going to be increased, or the cooldown is going to be reduced, but the damage is increased on Army of the Dead. That's a pretty good one. A lot of the Necromancer skills are kind of awkward and bad. Blood Wave damage is increased. That's pretty massive. Shadow Blight is going to be increased. Grim Harvest. Ooh, this one's a big one. Essence gain is going to be reduced. So pretty massive essence reduction here, and lots of damage buffs so far in general. Just the ratio critical strike chance reduced even further. Wow, okay. It's just like overall, I think a pretty big nerf. Wow. And then Death's Defense, maximum minion life lost in a single instance reduced from 75, 60, 45 to 60, 45, 30. Wow. Okay. So that's going to be pretty good, right? Because maximum minion life lost is going to be reduced, which means maximum life loss is going to be reduced, I believe. Race Skeleton damage increased, Golem damage increased. I don't think the damage is really the problem. I think the survivability is the problem for most people, but the damage increasing is going to be nice because it's going to contribute to the summons overall. Blood Golem life drain damage increased from 40 to 90%, and healing is going to increase from 4 to 5%. Iron Golem slam damage increased from 25 to 175%, and the shockwave damage is increased. These are some pretty big buffs to the Golem overall. And I think that the Iron Golem maybe has a chance to kind of approach a little bit of some insane additional power bonuses, which is pretty cool. Some Paragon board changes for the Necromancer. Oh, I don't want to get to the rogue, guys. Golem life and damage bonus increased. Okay. And damage bonus increased from 10 to 15% on Cult Leader. Ooh, okay. I think overall is a decent buffs to some of the options for the golems for Necromancer, and a lot of damage buffs, honestly, and things that aren't used as often, but of course some nerfs too. Some things are more often. Okay. Here we go, guys. Twisting Blades nerf. Oof. Cooldown reduction hit per enemy hit reduced from 0.25 to 0.1 seconds, and maximum cooldown reduction reduced from 3 to 2 seconds. That's a pretty big nerf, honestly. Yeah, this is gonna hurt specifically trap rogue, which I think is kind of the lazy farm that a lot of people are running right now. But wow, that's gonna be a pretty massive nerf to get your traps back. But okay, rapid fire damage increase. I think rapid fire kind of needed it. A lot of the ranged rogue skills kind of do, to be honest. Dark Shroud, damage reduction per shadow gain from skill points reduced from 0.8% to 0.4%. This doesn't actually matter that much because you normally just put 1 point into it and just chill on it, which is totally fine. Enhanced dash critical strike damage bonus from 20 to 15%. Interesting. This is definitely something that a lot of people are using just because it's enhancing the crit strike damage, which is a very, very important stat. But overall, not that big of a deal. Passive changes. This is going to be a big, wow. Critical strike chance reduced from 5, 10, 15 to 4, 8, 12. So instead of 15% increase, we get 12%. Yikes. Legendary affix change, maximum minion life lost at a single damage instance. It's going to be the same as the Necromancer one. Okay. Then lastly, we have the Sorcerer and a couple of Paragon changes. Okay, so Sorcerer, we have Arc Lash, lucky hit chance reduced, and the Glinting Arc Lash cooldown is going to be reduced here as well. I don't think that changes too much because Arc Lash is still going to be a powerful AoE skill, but you know, it is what it is. Shimmering Teleport's damage reduction duration reduced from 5 to 3 seconds. Wow, that's going to be a big duration reduction, and that's going to really, really hurt the survivability of the Sorcerer in general, going through and spamming out some teleports. Legendary affix changed aspect of control. Bonus damage reduced from 30 to 40 to 25 to 35. Okay. Wow. These are just some big nerfs across the board on like every class, which is kind of surprising. Miscellaneous class changes for the Druid companions and Necrominions. Maximum damage over time taken is going to be reduced from 2 to 1%. Okay, so nice buff to companions and minions. Rare nodes, player attack speed nodes reduced by 50%. All glyphs bonus scaling has been reduced by 34%. Damage, critical strike damage glyphs reduced by 66. Vulnerable glyph damage 66. Whoa. Whoa. That is just massive nerfs to the glyph nodes. Here's the thing, it's the bonus scaling, and the bonus scaling, I believe, is based on the attributes in the area, right? So if I open up my Paragon board here, you can see that the stats here on the glyphs, where's a good one? The bonus stats, that's gonna be a massive nerf. Wow. Wow. that's going to be a huge nerf. So they're just going to be nerfing things across the board. And you can see here, for every 5 intelligence purchased within the range, you're going to deal 10.8% increased damage, which if you look, I have 12 intelligence, which means I'm getting that 25.9%. But if they're going to reduce that even further by 66%, then I would be dropping down to like 7% crit strike damage bonus, which is insane. That is insane. And then they're going to significantly reduce the spawn rate of treasure goblins. What? That's crazy. Why? I don't think they were around often at all, but I guess so. So, wow. Glyph notes, upgraded them. Looks like it's not going to be super insane. When I say bonus scaling, I believe they are talking about the green at the top, but maybe they mean the additional bonus here. And if that's the case, then this is going to drop down for potentially like skills that critically strike restore 4% of their energy cost. So that could be a change that they're making. Honestly, not quite sure on that one. Again, they say bonus to rare nodes reduced, glyphs bonus. So vulnerable glyphs bonus, which would be, let's see if I pop this open, I have that one as well. There we go. That's going to be reduced as well. Again, I believe they mean the bonus at the top of the glyph, like for every 5 strength, etc. But, you know, maybe they talk about the additional bonus, although I'm not quite sure what they would nerf. I guess instead of vulnerable for 3 seconds, they might do like vulnerable for 1 second, which could be pretty brutal. But, wow. That's going to be massive nerfs across the board, guys. Massive nerfs, and something that you guys got to consider, especially if you're hardcore. So thanks for watching, everyone. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below. That's gonna be the patch notes, and I'll see you all for the next one.